Hey guys, Ryan at Gwatney Performance. We're back to LS3 torture testing on my new combination for the setup. Been on the engine dyno Wednesday and Thursday, last 2 days, getting this thing dialed in, and we're pretty pleased with the results. We tried a lot of things. We pushed a lot harder this time than we have in the past. You know, I really love the LS3 stop bottom end deal because it's so challenging. We're working around a huge limitation in several areas. I mean, we're limited by connecting rod, factory internals, limited by how much valve relief we can put in a piston, which limits how much camshaft we can run, which we're limited on how much compression we can make. It's a very challenging deal, and been excited over the last few years how much it's evolved, and everyone has really stepped their game up, and it's really been exciting to be a part of. So for me, I've been out of the game for a little over a year as I've been getting my car together and mapping out this engine build and making some driveline changes as far as transmission and stuff goes. But it's coming back around, and now I think I've got my powertrain ready to go. So with our testing on the engine dyno the last couple of days, I tested 4 different intake manifolds, 3 CIDs, a 4-inch cross section, a 4.5-inch cross section, and a 5-inch. I tested injector location, higher or lower in the runner. I tested with or without a spacer under the throttle body on the carb style manifolds. And then I tested a Holley high ram with a dual 4500 Dominator lid with dual 4500 throttle bodies. And was really surprised with some of the testing on some of the things we saw. I also tested a vacuum pump. I tested different harmonic dampers. We tested different fuels. It was a busy 2 days, tell you what. But I think I found the combination that I've chosen to run and stick with is going to be a CID manifold. I will say that I'm going to run the upper injector placement. The spacer was worth about 5 horsepower. A vacuum pump was worth 10 horsepower, but for me, I'm staying wet sump for the time being, so the 12 to 15 pounds of oil pressure loss that I got for 10 horsepower on the engine dyno is not something I'm going to stay with. Maybe I'll do something with an external oil pump at some point, we'll see. The high ram made the best torque. It was probably the best manifold to about 7,700 if you were running a combo with dual 4500s up to that point. But this time testing, we took it to the house. I mean, we went 8,800 on the engine dyno a few times, 8,700, probably 10 plus pulls, and then over 20 dyno pulls were over 8,500 RPM. And the CID manifold just flat out made more power up past 8,000. So that's where I'm gonna be with my combo, and that's what I want to stick with. Testing turned out well. I had a goal that I really wanted to make 2.2 horsepower per cubic inch, and I did that just barely did it. The last 2 pulls yesterday I made 826, and then the last pull I made 829. It's challenging. I tell you, it's hard. I mean, working around all those limitations, it gets pretty tough picking up power in chunks. So, really excited about the new build. Got some pretty good data from it. Now, just to the point of waiting on getting the car getting the roller completed with the cage, getting this thing safe and legal, and I'll be ready to drop the power plant in, and we're ready to go racing whenever this stuff gets out of here and the tracks open back up. So I'm excited. I've been out for over a year, and there's some fast guys now, and I welcome to run any of the cars heads up, and we can bring scales to the track, and we can pop oil pans and cylinder heads off and inspect the engines. I think stuff like that's good for the sport, and legitimacy of these builds to show people what it really takes to go fast. I think that's something that's missing in the sport sometimes. So I think that'd be great to do. So hopefully later this summer and fall, a group of us can get together and go race and see what happens. Thanks.